Well, the spoiler alert is that I ended up going to law school and ended up finding a funny job that combines everything in my background. So, as I mentioned, I did a lot of things with quality assurance, but I also did a lot of things with credentialing, which is where whenever a healthcare provider works in a healthcare system, they have what we call privileges, which means this is what you're allowed to do. You know, surgeons have different privileges than an ophthalmologist compared to a general surgeon, compared to an internal medicine doc, compared to a pediatrician. And we also sometimes have to deal with disciplinary issues with those healthcare providers. Now and then people have problems. And because of that, I interacted a lot with our state medical board staff, because we had a woman who was a nurse practitioner, who was a reserve officer who worked at our hospital, who also was on the staff of the state medical board. And she was a nurse practitioner who had become an attorney. And we ended up becoming friends. And she'd always said, you know, you'd really enjoy law school, because it would irritate me when the hospital's lawyer would get in the way on things. Some lawyers know that if they say no, they can't get in trouble for authorizing something. So they just say no all the time because they have no guts. And you know, they didn't speak our language and we didn't speak theirs, and I just felt like they got in the way a lot. So after years, I happened to be in a situation where I could walk back some of my consulting work to be a little quieter, and there was a law school down not too far from where I was living at the time. I said, well, why not? It's only 3 years. I mean, after med school and all of the postgraduate training, 3 years doesn't seem like much, and when you're over 50, you know, 50-ish, 3 years is like very fast. So I took the LSATs and threw in my application. They said, okay, you can come here. And so I spent 3 years going to law school. I still did some consulting on the side and did some work. I kept my fingers in it. But it was fun because I didn't have to have it. But learning that language and doing it at a time where I had what I call something to hang it on. I mean, if you take a property class and you're 21, well, you may have had a lease, but that's about it. You've never bought and sold property and had an easement, but when you're 50, you've done things like that. So you just have more awareness of things that you can connect it to. So it had more meaning. At the time, I decided I focused on healthcare law, a natural fit, but I also took a lot of intellectual property just because patent law was pretty interesting. I mean, I am an engineer at heart. So I was like, maybe I'll do something with that, and just kind of enjoying it. And I was doing a project the last semester of law school. It was actually an international legal research class, but I was doing this project about nuclear things. And I stumbled into an advertisement on the Nuclear Regulatory Commission's website that talked about administrative judges, technical administrative judges. So it wasn't a job for a lawyer, it was a job for people with technical expertise. Because the Nuclear Regulatory Commission has an interesting system for legal cases where the administrative judges, they use one legal judge and 2 technical judges to make a board. Because there's so much high technical, that way you have technical expertise assisting the lawyer, and then the lawyer assists the technical with the legal issues. I'm like, so you need to be like a doctoral level engineer, something nuclear or related, and it's a legal thing. This sounds pretty interesting. I wish I'd seen this sooner. But so that started the path that I'm now on as an administrative judge with the Atomic Safety and Licensing Board panel.